Let me ask you very generally, the market seems to be signaling that the story for high growth stay-at-home stocks, names like Zoom and DocuSign, Peloton, that story is over. Do you think that what you're doing, this idea of decentralized living, will keep pandemic trends in place for a long time to come? What kind of technology are you using, do you expect to use on this journey?
Yeah, it's a great question, Deirdre. Well, first of all, yeah, I'm in Airbnb here in Atlanta. These are posters of San Francisco street posters behind me. I would say that the world is never going back to the way it was before the pandemic, and I don't think most people are going back to an office 5 days a week. And if they're not going back to an office 5 days a week, then I think what we're going to see is permanent flexibility. And that means that millions of people, not everyone, but a large chunk of people can now go anywhere, anytime. And the reason why is because they can do what I can do. I'm running a pretty large company off of a laptop with another person's Wi-Fi in their home. And so if I can do my job from a house in Atlanta, that means a lot of people can travel all over the world and live, not just travel on Airbnb, but now live on Airbnb. So I think this is just the beginning. And the only other thing I'll say is there's a huge boon that's going to be coming to Airbnb. Before the pandemic, half our business was cross-border. As borders do reopen, that will be another tailwind for us.
So, Brian, what kind of future services get built into or onto this new way of traveling and living? Obviously, there are tax implications of what you're doing and what you hope others will continue to do. That is living out of state or overseas. Does Airbnb think about a tax service or perhaps an acquisition in this space? What are some of the other businesses that you might be thinking about to expand on this theme?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, as you said, a fifth of our business by nights in Q3 were monthly stays. Nearly half our business is for stays of longer than a week. And people are now going to thousands of communities all over the world. So what we are focused on this year is we want to make the experience of living on Airbnb, whether it's a family going away for the summer, people taking long weekends, or people even living on Airbnb full time. We want to make that experience much better. And part of that is me living on Airbnb and understanding the experience myself so we can really understand this product. And so I think you're going to see some really big products for us coming out this summer in time for this coming travel season. I can't disclose what it's going to be, but there are going to be some really big new improvements and upgrades.
Can you give us any hints? What are you thinking about as you travel? Is it taxes? Is it sort of a short-term lease? Any hints there?
I just think we want to make it significantly easier for people to be able to understand what communities they can go to and live in and make the experience as smooth, as frictionless, as easy as possible and provide incredible service each step of the way. So we're thinking about an entire end-to-end solution to really make living on Airbnb much easier. And again, living could be months at a time, but could just be a week, which really falls beyond what classic travel is. Typical travel is a few nights in another destination. We really want to help you live in a community.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You're talking so much about living in Airbnb, and I'm wondering what that means for the sort of more traditional going on vacation with Airbnb, taking a trip with Airbnb. And, we've seen a surge in bookings for the traditional hotels, and we've seen those stocks go up in line with that. I'm wondering if you don't see them as much as your competition. Are they taking back share from maybe some of the business you had during the pandemic, or where does that give and take go from here?
No, I mean, we are still going to have hundreds of millions of people in the coming years traveling on Airbnb. That is still our bread and butter. It's just that there's this whole new segment that is completely additive. Again, wait till borders reopen. The vast majority of our business before the pandemic was people crossing borders, traveling to cities. That business has been suppressed. When people get comfortable traveling and crossing borders, that's going to be a huge boon for our business. I think that because people have more flexibility, they can travel anywhere, they can live anywhere. Living is a huge new opportunity for us, but travel is still in our bread and butter, and we are still very focused on it, and I'm very bullish about it.